Bonk Spotcast.
Welcome back to Bonk Spotcast, a podcast about the Bionicle community and its very creative members. When I started this podcast, I was scared to use my real voice, but now I'm ready to get out of my comfort zone and truly be myself. Today I'm talking to Alex C. Parsons, or Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex.
He's not a great builder, but he certainly tries. He hosted a few mid-collabs, a few decent contests, and has a cringe side project.
Wow.
So, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Canada. I live in Ottawa, the capital city.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Jeez, it's hard when I have to answer it. I am a Bionicle fan since I was a little boy. Got my first set in 2001. And nowadays I work in communications and spend my time not working, hang out with my loud cats and playing with Lego and playing video games.
That's great. You kind of answered this, but kind of when and how did you get into Bionicles?
So I got into Bionicle, in 2001. I was 6, and I don't remember. I might have gotten the McTorrent from McDonald's first, but I don't remember if I got another set. I think it was the McTorrent, but I probably I was 6. I was barely conscious as a human being, so I don't really remember being super into it when I got that Happy Meal toy yet. But I do remember getting really into it when it was probably my 6th birthday, and some friends got me Pohatu and Galimata.
Okay.
So hi Jojo. My cat has shown up for a cameo appearance. And yeah, from there I just started reading the comics that came with the Lego magazine and collecting the sets when my parents would buy them for me and stuff, and I just got really addicted to it and just building and stuff. And I had a friend as a kid who was also really into it, and we'd hang out and play Bionicles together. We had our own storylines and stuff. It was really fun.
Okay, nice. So now that you have your own kind of Bionicle account and everything like that, give me a brief kind of pitch about your account and kind of how you created it and everything.
So my account started as a personal account. I didn't really know much about the Biogram community when I started, so I just started posting mocks and just little Lego creations. And when I got back into Bionicle in 2019 or 2020ish, I started, just building more Bionicle mocks and posting them. And then Geez, this is not concise at all.
That's okay. These things are staring at you. They're judging you.
Yeah, my 20 minifig skulls that I just have sitting on my desk.
Yeah, they're judging you. You need to answer the rest of the question.
Anyway, a brief elevator pitch, if I had to describe it at the moment, is I post Bionicles, and sometimes I post shit posts. And very rarely I'll post pictures of myself and my wife and my cats and friends or whatever. So that's about it.
Nice. Besides your account, kind of how involved in the Bionicle community are you?
I'm pretty involved. I guess this gets into what I was saying before about when I was going too long on the last question. I think I really started to get into the community in I think it was 2022 when it was King Knack invited me to a collab called the Kai June collab, which was focused on building kaiju in June. And through that collab, I got to know some other builders and start chatting with people. I didn't realize there were so many friendly people in the community. And ever since then, I've just met more people through more collabs and just started having friendships and joining Discord servers and making my own Discord servers. And at this point, I'm probably in at least 10 Bionicle servers. I'm not active in most of them, but it's really nice meeting people and making friends. And I've actually made some really good friends. And we've had meetups in person and stuff. We have another meetup planned for this year that I'm really excited for. So I'd say I'm fairly involved in like my own little corner.
What's your opinion on the community in 2025?
The community I think is really great. Like as a kid, I was on BZ Power, like in maybe like 2007 or 2008, which is like a Bionicle message board, like forum kind of thing. And for most of my life, that's like all I knew of the community. I thought it was just BZ Power and maybe some like Lego boards or like whatever. This was before like social media really started popping off, or at least before I started joining social media like Facebook or whatever. And then I think I got into Facebook mask posting first, which is like a Bionicle meme page on Facebook. And then from there, I discovered Instagram, like Biogram. And then from there, I discovered like BioTube and like Bio Everything. There's like communities everywhere, ones that don't exist anymore. And like, I don't know, it's just crazy. Like, I just think it's crazy that today we have so many people actively engaging in like a retired toy line from the 2000s. So like, I'm just happy there is a community to talk with and like so many people who are like into the same hobby that I am that I can like connect with. Cause like, I didn't have a lot of people to talk to about this as a kid. And like everyone goes through a period where like you feel like you're like too old for it or it's like uncool. So like just being able to like reconnect with something from my childhood that like I really still love with like other people is like magical.
Okay. Kind of on the same topic, but like what's one thing about the community that you love?
I love the passion and creativity in the community. I feel like I'm probably like rehashing what people have said previously on this podcast, but like it's really cool that people are posting crazy mocks every day. Like someone said that and I totally agree with it. Like it's really nice to like see new and like creative mocks using like techniques you never would have dreamed of on the regular. It's not even just like a rare thing. It's like all the time. I also love like all the people making custom masks and parts still. Like I feel like they've gotten a shout out on every podcast, but it's like totally justified. People like Zion Tyro, Buryu, lots of people. Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head, but lots of people are making their own parts and like that's really special because obviously Lego's not going to do that. So like the fact that like we still have people doing that at all is like super, super sweet to me. And of course, just like all the opportunities I've had to like make friends and connect with people is like really special to me.
That's awesome. There's obviously a lot of things you love about the community. Is there anything that you don't really like as much?
I'm tempted to say the drama, but like it is like kind of funny to me. So I don't think people should take things as seriously as they do for the most part. But I do understand that like people's nerves can be struck at times and people, myself included, might act in like emotionally driven ways rather than like stopping and thinking about, you know, what they're saying. That aside, there's some elitism in the community, I find. Personally, I don't like my mocks being criticized. So like if people do that, I'll like ask them to stop or I'll say like, I don't want criticism. But I find there are people in the community that will just like provide criticism totally unasked for. And I think their heart's in the right place, but I honestly find it more hurtful if it's not like asked for. Like some people will go and like aggressively criticize like children's mocks or people who are just like starting out in the hobby, and it's like that's not going to make them want to continue. I don't know. I think if you're going to criticize and like provide unasked for criticism, you should first say what you like about someone's build. And that's something I love about like Ben Cossey, for example. Like his whole channel is based on featuring people's creations, and like when he features them, he doesn't criticize them at all. He only comments on like the cool, like unique stuff that he likes about their builds. And I think we need more of that in the community. Less like tearing people down and more building people up.
Speaking of mocks, do you have a favorite mock or piece of art of your own at the moment and why?
So I have a couple, actually. I recently did a big build for Mr. RO3's villain contest, or the Culling of Chaos contest. It's based on a villain from Chainsaw Man, which is like one of my favorite manga at the moment. And like normally when I just mock, like make stuff from like pieces I already have. But for this one, I like I knew it was going to be a bigger scale than usual, so I made a couple Bricklink orders specifically for the mock, which, like, worked out amazingly, but, like, I ended up having to wait for, like, the skulls to come. The minifig skulls that I ordered way too many of, so I just have, like, 20 on my desk. But anyway, like, once that was completed, I felt, like, an incredible sense of pride, which sounds, like, kind of gloating, but I don't know. It's just, like, I don't usually build giant mocks or, like, really detailed, intricate mocks. So, like, being able to, like, capture that character somewhat accurately, in my opinion, and having, like, my own custom model of something I think looks really badass is, like, really awesome. And then today, actually, I posted my mocks for my annual Fools collab, which is a April Fool's theme collab where I encourage everyone to make, like, shitpost builds, like, really low effort, silly stuff to make people laugh. And I made a certain cursed amulet, totally not based on any existing creation. It's cursed, but, like, I think I captured its likeness pretty decently with the parts I had, so I was happy with how that turned out.
That's awesome. Is there any mocks from other creators that you really like?
So Kitty Mox, who was also previously on the podcast, she, a day ago, posted a mock of Avon, who is Chronic Bionicle's self-mock, and they also were on the podcast a little while ago. And I really like this mock. It's got a lot of character, and, like, the articulation is really nice. Like, Kiri made some, like, great poses, both, like, serious for cool factor and funny, like the Peter Griffin death pose or whatever. She even gave him some little Homestuck horns, which is pretty funny because of reasons. There was one posted today that I really liked. Bionic Forge. His Makuta Pterodax is really sweet. It's got, like, a really nice blend of, like, old parts and new parts. And it's greebled, but it's not so greebled that it's, like, you can't tell what's going on. It's done in such a way that's, like, clear musculature and, like, detail. It's just really clean. It's really nice. And, like, looking at it now, he did it in a way where, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but the chest, like, looks almost like a bionicle face, like a face without a mask on. Or some sort of, like, imposing face. It totally gives me, like, Gurren Lagann vibes. It looks super cool.
Are you excited to see people's April Fool's mocks?
Oh god, yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen them because, like, I'm hosting the collab, but like, I'm excited for everyone else to see them.
Okay.
Oh, here's one. Some person named Begar Bleu made a Toa of Stone based on the Rock Raiders theme. And it's, like, really simple, but not in a bad way. It uses, like, parts that either are from that era or, like, reflect that era and reflect that theme, and colors that reflect the theme. And it's, like, super clean, super cool. It's got tank treads for legs, which is really original, and it just rocks. Like, it's the best use of a Nuva cow I've probably ever seen. Mop Top Trev, while not strictly a Bionicle, has been doing a lot of Canada-themed posts lately for the Maple Lego March. And I think that's really important right now to, like, highlight Canadian culture for obvious reasons. Anyway, he recently posted a mosquito. I love bug builds, and this mosquito was built so, like, creatively using, like, spaceship windscreens for, like, the wings and, like, nasty little legs. Like, it looks disgusting in the most, compliment sort of way. Like, it's achieving what it set out to do, I think. Yeah, I think those are all the ones I've, like, thought about recently that I really enjoyed.
Nice.
I guess there's one more, sorry. It was, like, just posted also. Mr. RO3 did a mauve, lots of mauves happening right now, of Kiri. Mr. RO3's builds are always sick, like, actually indescribable levels of, like, cool in the way that he uses a mix of system, technic, and bionicle pieces to, like, make super duper organic but robotic looking builds. Like, I can't glaze this guy enough. Like, his builds are unbelievable. And I know he's also gotten some, I don't know where they're from, but, like, energy effect pieces, like, not Lego, but, like, probably for, like, Gunpla or something. I'm just, like, adding those to his builds, like, really elevates them as well. So, like, yeah, good job.
Okay. hypothetically, if you could choose any creator to make an MOV of one of your mocks, who would you choose?
Ooh.
Is it Mauve?
Mauve, yeah.
Mauve? Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
If you can't tell, I am not a Bionicle.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You do the Bonk Spotlight podcast. You know so much. Let me think about that, because there are a lot of fucking sweet creators that I'd love to see do that. Well, the first one that came to mind was D-Jock. He's like this really cool builder. He uses like really fucking weird pieces. Like he uses pieces from, I'm not sure their pronouns, but anyway, they use like really weird, crazy theme pieces like Clickets or like stuff I can't even think of. Just like random pieces that for most other people would probably be hard to use, but like they incorporate them in such a way that like is very creative and like compelling to look at. Seeing D-Jock do something would be really cool. I wouldn't mind seeing, like, King Knack. King Knack is a great builder. He does a lot of, like, huge builds. So seeing something in his style would be really cool. Some other dudes, K-Pop Cringe makes, like, really intricate system/Bionicle mocks. It'd be cool to see what he could do with some of my ideas. And, yeah, I think that's about it. Like, some of the people I would suggest I've already been lucky enough to have them do their own spins. Like Mr. RO3, who I was talking about previously, he did a version of my self-mock, No Name, and it's fucking awesome. It's really cool. So, like, if anyone has done mocks, mobs of my stuff, like, thanks, I appreciate it. It's like, I always like to see people's takes on what I've built.
That's awesome. So, have you participated in any collabs? And if so, what has been your favorite collab you've participated in?
I've participated in a bunch of collabs. I've hosted a bunch, too. And I don't want to sound like a narcissist, but I think some of my favorite collabs to participate in are my own. Like, I was talking about Fool's collab before, which is, like, April Fool's themed, and I just really like it because it's, like, very chill. Like, usually for collabs, like, I try and put my best work out there, but this is, like, the opposite. It's, like, just build something really stupid and, like, have fun, so I like that one. I also really like Shocktober, which again is another one of my own collabs, which is awful, but it's just like Halloween-y. It's always posted on Halloween, and it's like horror themed. So I've made some like fun like horror monsters for those, and I always like seeing what other people make for those too. And just like forcing people to make horror mocks makes me happy.
Nice.
But I need to think of some other collabs. I believe it was Rixo Does Drawing hosted a collab called My Own Mari in 2023 with the goal to be building your own 2007 inspired characters. And for that one I built like 3 mocks because I like the theme so much. I did like a Toa, like a diver inspired Toa, and I did a goblin shark inspired like villain, and then like of course like a spider. like a deep sea crab looking spider kind of thing. And Kaijun, the very first collab I participated in, that one was also awesome because the concept was to just make kaiju. So I picked the Reaper Leviathan from Subnautica, which is an awesome game, and that was a really fun build to do, and I had a lot of fun like getting to know people through that collab. So yeah, I'd say those are probably some of my favorites.
Nice. Going back a little ways from there, what is your favorite Bionicle related memory?
Ooh. I mean, a lot of my favorite memories are, like, tied to, like, my family. Just, like, simple things. Like, I remember, like, going shopping with my mom as a kid for whatever, like, to the mall to, like, buy clothes or, you know, essentials or, like, whatever. And then, like, sometimes if I was, like, well-behaved or whatever, like, my mom would let me pick out, like, a canister set. Like, I vividly remember going to, like, I think it was, like, the Bay or, like, Zellers or something, which my Canadian friends might know. And for whatever reason, I was behaving well enough where she's like, pick out, like, a set. So I got the blue Rakshi. That's, like, one of those, like, core memories I have. Or, like, there was a time I was, like, sick as a kid. I don't remember what I had, but it was something really bad that I was, like, throwing up constantly, like, like everything I ate, and just, like, really bad time. And when I started recovering from that, she, like, took me out to see a movie, and then like got me 2 Hordika sets, which was like really awesome. So like stuff like that. And I talked about on the last podcast too how like, I mean, Bonk Spotlight talked about it on the last podcast about how my parents like recovered my childhood collection from some family friends we'd given it to when I was in like university. Like getting back my childhood collection was like incredible. Like it was amazing, and I was like losing my shit when I opened that gift and was like just in complete shock. So yeah, honestly, just like getting toys and like special family memories, that sort of thing, are probably my favorite memories.
Nice. And then what is your favorite memory related to the Bionicle community?
This one's easy. As I mentioned before, last year for the first time, I went and met up with a bunch of my friends from the community at Brick Fair, Virginia in August. We rented like an Airbnb and like most of us stayed there together. And like I wasn't exhibiting at the convention, so I didn't get to be there too much, but it also gave me the chance to like visit DC before it went to shit. That was a really fun trip just to like explore the capital with like my wife and a couple Bionicle friends, and we like almost died because it was like really fucking hot outside, and like that was fun. And then the convention itself was really fun too. I even got to display some of my mocks, even though I wasn't like exhibiting, like my Gulux, and like my little stars version of my self mock. So just like also just like getting to meet people at the convention who were exhibiting that like I'd only previously either met or like known of online was really cool. Like getting to meet, I think, Anderson Builder, I remember, and like Loaf Builds, probably lots of other people that I forget. Sorry. But like, to be completely honest, I have like a fair bit of social anxiety, and like I think because by that point in the convention all the exhibitors had been like palling around a lot and I was just like visiting, my anxiety like kicked in like hard. And I was like a blubbering mess, and I could like barely talk to people or like approach people. So like maybe in the future I'd like to go to a convention and like exhibit or like take a chill pill and, you know, try and approach people in a more like regular way where I'm not like tripping over myself like trying to speak to them, because I would love to just have more conversations with people like casually and meet more people. I think that's like the most fun thing about the community, meeting people, and the like conventions are just like the culmination of that, like meeting people in person and like making memories together, and like just that it's just awesome. Nice. So I'd love to do that again.
Nice. Are there any other like communities or creators, whether they be friends or people who inspire you or whatever else, that you'd like to shout out?
Oh, definitely. Let me open up my group chats and see who.
The sponsored part of the podcast.
The sponsored part?
Of the podcast.
What do you mean?
I'm just joking. We're just taking a in lieu about you and shouting out to all the people instead of the organizations that you're supporting.
Oh yeah, I'm just a mid builder. I want to shout out the real people. Yeah. Inspirations to Creations does some really cool stuff, like a lot of animal builds, which I always love to see. Mechanical Hands, really cool dude, nice dude, and always destroys everybody in Jackbox and builds some really nice like digital stuff, and is like incredibly talented at like digital modeling. Like if you want like custom parts or like masks made, like go like talk to him. He does commissions. It's awesome. He's really great. Hallow Gween, another previous podcast guest, really nice person, really amazing mockist, has a great sense of humor. Kafu, Kitty, sorry, I should say Kafu of Metru Nui. That's Kafu's username. Kitty Mocks, Nile Persona, Nova Nuva, aka Chronic Bionicles, a really cool dude. Have a lot of cool conversations with that dude, and have a lot of good golf games with them as well. Vikaru builds. Rixo does drawing. Who else? K-pop Cringe, as I mentioned. Funny guy. Jector Sneck, really, really nice dude. Maxilla Makes. He's a chill dude. Jeez, they're going to kill me if I don't mention them. Rise Bell, the illustrious Rise Bell. Luhan, Overheating Orange. Lego Metal, Makuta Luroka, and Pink Jamie. Again, like everybody says, I could go on and on and on. There's like so many people that like I could mention because there's so many amazing people.
You can put them in the credits.
Put them in the credits.
Yeah.
I don't have credits.
Oh, you should. You should have a shout-out list at the end and go super fast. Go.
I mean, I do that. Like,
yeah, you could.
I post it in my story.
Yeah.
Like, I add everybody I like, or people mention in the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can add anyone else in there too.
That's true. I don't know. That's like if I added everyone in the community, I'd be sitting there all day. That's fair. That's the only problem.
That is fair. Do you have any upcoming mocks or projects you're excited about?
Oh yeah. So like I have like a huge list of mocks I want to make, like ideas, and most of them are like on the back burner. But like I have made a couple kind of sillier mocks, one being the Toa of Mountain Dew Baja Blast and the Toa of Dr. Pepper. And I think like I want to continue doing that and make like a Toa team of my favorite pops. So I think I'm going to make Toa of Mug. Like, I mean, Mug's not even a favorite pop. It's just funny because of like the whole Mug moments thing. I'm going to make a Toa of Mug, a Toa of Pineapple Crush, and whatever else I can think of. So I want to have a Toa team inspired by like corporate brands. That's totally epic.
Okay. Not talking Bionicle related things, what are some of your other hobbies?
Other hobbies? I don't know why I can't think of any. I like reading some manga. I don't read a lot of manga, but like I said, I'm obsessed with Chainsaw Man, and like those manga chapters coming out like once a week or once every couple weeks is like a light in my life. I'm always really happy to read those. And Chainsaw Man in particular is just like so fucking crazy. It always exceeds my expectations or like guesses or whatever. I never know what's going to happen next, which is always awesome. JoJo's great. That's probably my all-time favorite. And I've like showed that to a bunch of people who've enjoyed it, which is great. Like Jector Snack has gotten into JoJo lately, so it's been really fun like sharing memes with him about it. One Piece. I read all of One Piece last year, which was crazy, but it's actually quite good. I would just recommend reading it over watching it because the anime is like really long and not like the best. But otherwise, I love video games. I love playing games with my friends. I also like playing single player games. I'm like really into like Resident Evil, Subnautica, FromSoft games. Bloodborne's probably my favorite game of all time. I even like got a tattoo last year for Bloodborne. Tetris, I play way too much Tetris. I also like doing like graphic design. I do it for work, but at home it's usually just used for like making memes or like shit posts, like side project stuff. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Horror movies. Oh yeah, how do you know? Somehow my interviewer knows so much about me. But yes, I love horror movies, as I previously mentioned. I love weird horror movies. I love exposing people to weird horror movies and like making them hate me, like The Greasy Strangler. But for real, I just like, I like the feeling of being scared, and I like watching like new and bold movies and just bad movies. Like anything horror, it's like a hyperfixation. It's like most of what I watch when it comes to movies, either horror movies or really weird, like fucked up movies. So it's really fun to like watch them and like share them with my friends and talk about them and all that. It's like, it's great.
Nice. Who are some community members who you would be interested in hearing from on the podcast in the future?
Ooh. I'd really like to hear from Jector Snack and K-Pop Cringe. I think they would make a really sweet, epic episode together. Who else? Again, a lot of people that I would like to hear on the podcast have already been featured. Well, I've gotten some suggestions from people. Or I think Bonk Spotlight has gotten some suggestions from people, and some of those that I think would be like really cool to hear would be like Pohaturan, because not only is that person like a great builder, but they also work for Lego. So it'd be really cool to talk to someone who has that like experience and like almost like insider view. Loaf Builds is another person I'd love to talk to more. When I met him at Brick Fair, he was like super duper chill, and like we shared pictures of our cats with each other. And like he's also a great builder and a great editor, so it'd be awesome to like see more about what he thinks. Oh yeah, Ben Cossey is someone I really want to see featured because like, again, I really like his style of making videos and just like uplifting the community. And he also seems like a really chill dude. And apparently he was at Brick Fair last year and I totally missed him. So like, I'd love to like, you know, have an opportunity to talk to him. There's lots of people I'm excited to, or I'm sure Bonk Spotlight is excited to feature in the future as well.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me?
Who is your favorite Metro Bionicle?
Who am I supposed to say?
Say Lee-Con.
Lee-Con.
Lee-Con D's nuts. Very mature. What was it like hosting a podcast with your real voice for the first time?
It's freeing. People can hear my real voice now.
That's great. Yeah. I'm proud of you.
Is there anything else you'd like to include for this episode?
I'd like to include that for this April Fool's episode where I interview myself, essentially, I would like to thank my wife for playing the part of Bonk Spotlight. She did an amazing job. And it was probably a lot better than my original idea of just like literally talking to myself, like asking myself questions and answering. So thanks for that.
No problem. All right. I hope you enjoyed my discussion with Alex. If there's a Bionicle community member you would like to see featured, give a shout out to @BonkSpotlight on Instagram. And that's it for today's episode. Have a bonking good day.
Yay!